press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello children, welcome to today's class. So today I am here with you with the new chapter. The name of the chapter is I Want Something in a Cage, which was written by Ellie Grieve. So this lesson, by the title of this lesson, you can guess it. So this lesson is related about something cage. And what is this cage? You know, the cage, which is called a kind of a compartment where we keep all the pets, not like the birds, okay, where we can keep the birds in that compartment. So that is called cage. And if you take the big animals, so they also have some of the cage, okay, like a tigers and like a then leopard or any other animals. If you go to the zoo, you will see that so many cages, okay. So here in a cage, I want something in a cage. So this lesson is about freedom, okay, where the birds, the animals, they feel like they are not freedom. They don't have a freeness, okay. So when they are free, when we let the birds and the animals free their life, okay, so let them free and they enjoy their life according to us, how we are living in this world, like freely. So no one controls us. So why should we control these pets, okay, these animals and these pets in our houses? We should have to leave them, is it? So where they have to belong, we should have to leave them, especially the birds, is it? So let's say in today's class, this lesson is about the birds. I have told you the animals where they have kept in a shop, okay, in a shop. In that shop, there was a owner. The name of the owner is Mr. Purcell. He owns a pet shop. So there were a variety of animals. Okay, so he sold out those animals to the people who are loving them. Okay, and let's see how he is going to sell his animals to the people, and how what was the reaction about those things, okay, whatever the things he has in his shop. So how he is leading his the morning to evening, so he is staying in the shop, how he is leading the life, okay. So let's see here. Mr. Purcell owns a pet shop. There is a constant noise of screeching and twittering in the shop, but Mr. Purcell is happily unaware of it, okay. So Mr. Purcell, he has his own pet shop. So you know, when it is a pet shop, so there are a variety of animals, okay, and there were everywhere there is a screeching, twittering, it's a sound, okay, the sounds he has to hear in this shop, okay, but he is happy with that sound, because you know, when we are in a particular habit, okay, so it's not about a one day or a two, okay, so he has to listen those sound regularly, so it becomes a habit for him. So he is quite happy if any person who can visit for a first, so they can feel like irritated when they listen the sound of the animals, okay. But Mr. Purcell, he is happy with that sound, okay. The noise where the animals they were, okay. Then one cold morning, a strange customer calls. So one day on the cold morning, so there was a strange customer. He arrived to his shop, okay. So let's see. Mr. Purcell did not believe in ghosts. Nevertheless, the man who bought the 2 doves and his strange act immediately thereafter left him with a distinct sense of the uncanny, okay. So Mr. Purcell, he is not believing in the ghost, but so a man came to his shop, so that sends him that something it's not normal, okay, something he feels like why he is behaving like this, okay, he had bought the 2 doves, who that man, the stranger who came to the Mr. Purcell's shop to purchase the pet, so he behaves very differently, okay. So that, and his strange act immediately thereafter. So that person, the stranger, he behaves very differently. So it's like something is like the ghost, okay, the ghost. If you feel that like there is a ghost in your home, then how you will feel? You feel like something is like it's not normal. is it? Like it is. Then left him with a distinct sense of the uncanny. Uncanny means here unusual. So that person who came to the shop of this Mr. Purcell, it's not usual, it's unusual, it's very strange, it's not normal, okay? Then, as though behind his department customer, there had lingered the musty smell of an abandoned haunted house. The man who came to the Mr. Purcell shop, it's like something like a smell, okay? The smell which is like the home which is nobody has lived for so many days or so many years, okay? So it is like uninhabited. Abandoned means uninhabited, okay? Uninhabited means the people who has not lived in the particular house for a long time, okay? So that person, when he came to that shop, so he sensed that, so this man is having different kind of a smell where he got an odor, okay, where he is in a lock room, okay, he has locked in some of the room and he came now, okay, so like that the environment of his shop, so when he was observed, who this Mr. Purcell, okay, that Mr. Purcell, let's see what is there in the next paragraph. Mr. Purcell was a small, fussy man, red cheeks and a tight melon stomach. Now is the description of a Mr. Purcell physical appearance, okay, how he is looking here. He was a small, okay, he is a short, fussy man. Fussy man means fussy man means he is very small man, okay, like a short, and red cheeks, he had a red cheeks, and then a tight melon stomach. He had he is very fat, okay, he is very fat, he is having a red cheeks, okay, and then he is a short man. Then fussy man means is little bit fat, okay. Then large glasses magnified his eyes so as to give him the appearance of a wise and genial owl, okay. So large glasses, he wore the large glasses on his eyes, okay, and he gave appearances that he is a wise man and genial owl, okay. So like he is very sharp and he is very intellectual man, so like that he is behaving, means by his physical appearance, if anyone can see that Mr. Purcell, we can believe that he is kind of a wise man, and also it's like a genial owl, okay, he is very sharp. Then he owned a pet shop, he had his pet shop. He sold cats and dogs and monkeys. He dealt in fish food and bird seed, prescribed remedies for the ailing canaries, and displayed on his shelves long rows of ornate and gilded cages. Okay, so here what here says, he is selling cats, dogs, monkeys, and even the fish food and the bird seeds. So these kind of selling things of the Mr. Purcell. And he also give remedies for ailing canaries. Ailing canaries means canary, it was a small bright color, yellow colored bird, okay, which always it's singing, okay, that is called canary. If that bird is get any wound or anything, so he is just giving a treatment for those birds, okay. Then and displays on his shelves long rows of ornate and gilded cages. So in his shop there are cages, means there are some rows where he has decorated his rows in a different cages, okay, and also gilded cages and ornate. Ornate means the equipped. He has arranged in his rows with the different kinds of animals in that cages, okay. Gilded cages means a place situation which is attractive, but okay, so the place where it is attracting, if any customers who arrives to this Mr. Purcell's shop, so they are attracted. So how he was arranged, because for that they were attracting with that cages, okay, and the birds. He considered himself something of a professional man. So actually he is doing a business, okay. So what business? He is selling birds, he is selling cats and dogs and what not, means what are the things related to the animals, okay. So he is selling it, and he is behaving like he is a professional man, okay. He is like a businessman. Then a constant state of movement pervaded his shop. Whisper, twitters, slide or sling, squeals, cheeps and sudden squeeze. Small feet scampered in frantic circles. Okay, so what are these words are? A constant stir of movement means perverted his shop. Means in every moment, wherever you go and turn in his shop, you feel that, you just see that there are a lot of noises. Okay, if you look any of the corner of the shop, okay, so what you will get? You will get the noises. So what the noises here? Whisper twitters, the birds twittering sound, slight rustling, okay, the rustling sounds of animals, squeals, cheeps, sudden squeaks. So these are the sounds produced by the animals where the Mr. Purcell has kept those animals in the cages. Okay, so they are struggling to come out. Why they are giving this kind of a sound? Because they wanted to come out. Okay, so this is small feet scampered in frenetic circles. Okay, so all everywhere those birds and the monkeys and dogs, cats, everyone, they were struggling to come out. Okay, and the frightened, bewildered, blindly seeking. Okay, those are animals they are frightened, they are wilder, and they were seeking something. Blindly they were seeking, they are searching something. Okay, because for that they were producing the noises. So I have told you this here. What it is? Whisper, twitters, sly rustling, squeals, cheeps, and sudden squeaks. So these are the sounds where the birds, the cats and monkeys, they were producing. Okay, these are the sound words. Okay, then across the shawls pulsed this endless flicker of life. But the customers who came in said, "Aren't they cute? Look at that little cage, they are sweet." Okay, so every corner where it has pulsed, pulse means heartbeat. When any customer, they were looked into that noises and the animals, they were struggling. So anyone their heartbeat is getting to be faster. Okay, why? Because it's like a wilder, somewhere like they came some of the wilder place. Okay, and then but the customers who came in said, some of the customers who came and said, "What? Aren't they cute?" So whoever they were, the customers came to the Mr. Purcell's shop. So what they are telling the question? They are cute. Aren't they cute? Because you know, when we go and purchase, if you go any pet shop, so what you feel? So their faces are very cute, is it? We are ready to take them. We are ready to purchase them. So like that they are cute here. But here they were struggling. Okay, in the Mr. Purcell shop, so all the animals, they were struggling and they are producing sound. So everybody who came to his shop, so they are asking the same question, that is, aren't they cute? Then look at the little cage, and also they says, look at the cages, look at the cage, how it is looking very nice. They are sweet. Who are sweet? The animals, the pet, they are sweet. And Mr. Purcell himself would smile and briskly rub his hands and emphatically shake his head. So when the people used to say, whenever the customers come and they were saying the questions like this, and they give a statement to the animals, they were very sweet and they were very they are looking cute. Okay, so like that, even the Mr. Purcell, he smiled. He is also smiling at their statements, and then he just briskly rub his hands. Briskly means very quickly he just rub his hand, and then emphatically shake his head. Emphatically means forcefully he just shake his head. Yes, they are very cute, they are very sweet. Okay, so like this, these are the statement whenever the customers, they were arrived to the pet shop. So how this Mr. Purcell is also behaving with that customers, and how he is responding to the customer. Okay, each morning when the routine of opening his shop was completed, it was the proprietor's custom to perch on a high stool behind the counter. Okay, so here behind the counter, unfold his morning paper and digest the day's news. Okay, so one of the morning, each morning, okay, one of not means every morning what he used to do, when the routine of the opening his shop. Okay, so daily what's his duty? When he finishes his opening of that shop, then what he is doing? it was the proprietor's customers to perch on the high stool. Okay, it is the customer, it is the custom, it is the duty of a owner. He has to acquire the high stool where the owner has to sit. So you have seen that if you go to any shop, you have seen the particular there is a counter where the owner are going to sit, and it is little bit higher, is it? So it is a proprietor custom, okay, where the owner is take the high stool and he has to sit after finishing the open of his shop. Okay, then what happened? Behind the counter, unfold his morning paper. So behind the counter, okay, where there is a counter has there, so the behind that, so it has an unfolded morning paper. Morning paper means newspaper, okay, because he is interested to read the daily news, okay, day-to-day news, and digest the day's news. So he took that news in his hand, he digested. Digested means he is reading and understanding the daily news, okay. So this is digest means read and understand fully, that is called digested news. Digest the day's news. As he read, he would smirk. So when he was reading the newspaper, so what he is doing? So he gives some of the facial expression. He just smile. Then smile, smirk, frown, reflectively purse his lips, knowingly lift his eyebrows and nod in grave agreement. Okay, he gives some of the facial expressions when he used to read the newspaper. If you know, in the newspaper there are some of the interesting stories and some of the advertisement, and you know where what was the, if it is any robbery, if it is any murder or any crime or any bulletin like the government, the policies, the rules and regulation, even the sports and everything. You will get this kind of a news in your newspaper. So he is very interested to read the newspaper, and he gives the facial expression also. Okay, so like this, smirk means to smile. He just smile when he just reading it. Okay, and frown means he gives a facial expression. Underline these words. Smirk means to smile. Frown means facial expression. Reflectively purse his lips. Okay, so reflectively he just presses lips and knowingly lift his eyebrows. So knowingly, when he understands that news, he just lift his eyebrows. Oh, that's right. Okay, like this way. Then nod in grave agreement. He just nod his head. Yeah, what happened to our country, like this. If you give if you express your thoughts and feelings, so you will give some of the expression on your face and your body, you just act. Okay, so you just act and you just give something like you just move your head and all. So like this way, the Mr. Purcell also doing the same thing when he opened his shop and when he was reading his newspaper. He read everything, even advice to the love lawn and the detailed columns of the advertisements. He read every column in the newspaper. Okay, the advices to the any relationship. Okay, if it is in a husband and wife, if it is in a family, so whatever the advices were there in the newspaper. So he just what he does here, he just read everything. Okay, each and every column, and he also read the advertisements also. Okay, if it is any product advertisement or any job advertisement, if anything advertisement, so he could read it. Okay, then it was a rough day. A strong wind blew against the high plate glass windows. Smoke filmed the wintry city. The air was grey, was a thick frost. Okay. So it was a rough day. Actually, the daily, this kind of a routine he is doing. The Mr. Purcell. But the day, something which was happening in his shop, the day was rough. Okay, it was a rough day. It was not good day. Rough day means the wind is blowing very strong. Okay, then blew against the high and plate glass windows. Even the windows doors, it is also shuttering. Okay, it is also shuttering here, and because of the blowing of the air. Smoke filmed the wintry city. Smoke film means, so the environment, means the nature which was covered with the smoke. Okay, so everywhere there was a thick smoke, means it has covered with the smoke then. And because it's a winter morning, air was grey with the thick frost. Okay, so air which is look in a grey in color. Okay, then it is very thick frost. Okay, no one can see easily. Okay, so like this. The atmosphere means the weather of the day is like this. It's a winter season, it's a winter day. It's like the fog which is covered, the air which is filled with the fog. Okay, and everywhere there is a thick frost also. Okay, having completed his usual tasks, Mr. Purcell again mounted the high stool and folded his morning paper. So whatever I have told you, that is the routine of Mr. Purcell and the situation of the Mr. Purcell's shop. So one day, so when the wind is blowing very high, that day, so he finished his daily routine. Okay, when he was open his shop, then he took a high stool to sit, and then he took a newspaper. Okay, for reading. And next, what happened here? He adjusted his glasses. So you know, when the person who wear the glasses, they used to adjust their spectacles. Okay. And glance at the day's headlines. Glance means to look briefly at something. Okay, glanced means, underline the word, glance means to look briefly at something, that is called glanced. So he just glanced at the headlines of the newspaper. Okay, this is, and chirping and squeaking and meowing vibrated all around him. Yet Mr. Purcell heard it no more than he would have heard the monotonous ticking of a familiar clock. Okay, so when he was used to read the newspaper, okay, so what happened here? The usual things were going on. So what it is? So the birds were chirping, then meowing, so on, because the cats is also present there in the shop. Okay, and also chirping and squeaking sound. So then those sounds, it is vibrating in his shop all around. Then yet Mr. Purcell heard it no more than he would have heard the monotonous, because a regular thing it is. Okay, he should have to heard the voice, means that noise in the shop. So it is not unusual for him. It's a usual things. It's a regular routine of his. Ticking the familiar clock. Even the clock is also ticking. Okay, ticking means it is movements, because when the clock moves, you can hear the ticking sound. Okay, so always the sound which is given for the clock, that is called ticking sound. Okay, there was a bell over the door that jingled whenever customer entered, and also when the customer entered, there is also a bell. Okay, so whenever the customer entered into his shop, the bell is ringing there. Okay, that is a jingled sound, jingled bell. This morning, however, for the first time, Mr. Purcell could recall it failed to ring. But especially that morning, okay, so he just have to be missed. If the customer also came, the bell has not rang. Okay, it has failed to rang that bell. Then simply he glanced up and there was a stranger. So person came and there was not a bell ring. So suddenly he just looked and he saw that there is a stranger in his shop. He feels something like awkward. Okay, it is not normal thing, because daily routine it is. Okay, you know, when so many things you do regularly, and one day if it is any strange things were happening with you, what you will do? You just observe it. You just observe very carefully why this is happening like this. It's not normal. Okay, so what the daily routine I am doing, so that is not added in this. Why it is very normal? If you go any places, if you see in your home, then if you visit anywhere, okay, if you go to your friend's house, so it should be not normal. Why? You wanted to search the reason. So here also Mr. Purcell, he wanted to know the reason why the bell has not rang. So suddenly he looked and saw that there is a stranger. Then next what happened? There was a bell over the door. Okay. Simply he glanced up and there was a stranger standing just inside the door as he had materialized out of thin air. So that stranger, how he came into the shop, like he just came inside with the air. Okay. He is like a materialized thing. He just came inside with the air. He has not, there is no sense, and even the Mr. Purcell also not sensed it and not felt that the customer is arrived in his shop. Okay, like that he entered into his shop. The storekeeper slide off his stool. Now who is the storekeeper? So you can write the words like the storekeeper, the owner, to the Mr. Porcel. So that is the same. Okay, so the meaning should be the same for the Mr. Porcel. He is a storekeeper, or you can take the owner. You can use any word. Okay, so for a Mr. Porcel, when you describe the Mr. Porcel, then the storekeeper slid off his stool. So when he saw that the customer is arrived in his shop without any sense, so he just moved his stool and he was stood. Then from the first instant he knew instinctively, unreasonably, that the man hated him, but out of habit he rubbed his hands briskly together and smiled and nodded. With the first of his glance, when he saw the stranger, so by the gesture of that stranger, he would have understand that this stranger is not behaving very normally, and he just like he is hating towards him. Okay, by the gestures and by the appearances of that stranger, he had assumed it. He has instinctively, he just understand that this person is hating to him. Okay, to whom? To Mr. Porcel. And the man hated him, but out of habit. Out of habit means routine. Okay, underline the phrase, it is out of habit means it's a daily routine. So his daily routine, what the daily routine of Mr. Porcel, when the customer arises his shop, come to his shop, so what he's do, then he just rubbed his hand, okay, briskly, quickly he just rub his hand and he just go towards them and nodded his head. Okay, nodded means he shake his head with the smile. Good morning, he beamed. What can I do for you? So he asked the question to the customer. So he says first he wished to the customer good morning, then what I do for you. Okay, what is the question here? Yeah, what can I do for you? He asked like this. Then okay, so this is about the today's class. I'll continue in the next class. Okay, so you just you have some of the questions after finishing that paragraph and some of the paragraphs here. So you just go through with that questions. I will tell you what are the questions are here. So write down according to the what I have explained now. So go through with that explanation, understand it very well, and just try to write the answers what here given. Here there are some comprehension check like true or false. Means if you go with this, you can evaluate yourself how much you are understood this lesson. Okay, so go through with this, read and go through with this question answers. Okay, and then here there are some of the true or false, and then some of the questions like why is Mr. Porcel compared to an owl. Okay, then the form from the third paragraph, pick out. So this is pick out the words, and then Mr. Porcel heard it no more than he would have heard the monotonous ticking of the familiar clock. Read para beginning with it was a rough day. What does it refer to? Rough day means the wind is blowing. Why it is called rough day? Because the wind is blowing. It is like a very the air is very cold, and everywhere the fog has the smoke has covered, and there is a thin what it is, thin or thick, it's a thin frost. Okay, yeah, it's a thick frost. So thick frost means there is a ice. Okay, ice in the everywhere. So this is called. Why does Mr. Porcel not hear it clearly? So this is. So why he should not hear clearly the bell when the bell has not rang? Why should I has not heard it? Because that person unknowingly he just entered into his shop. Okay. So this has happened. So you just go through with that questions and try to write your own answers. Okay. So today I am going to stop this lesson here. I will continue in the next class. Till then, all of you stay home, stay safe, keep learning. Thank you.